Welcome to the Autism on the Seas Special Vacation Podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Caslin, and today I am delighted to present Rachel Lack, who has a long list of stories to tell, including some professional endeavors that she's involved with that I think all of you are going to really find interesting. And then we're going to talk about her terrific cruise that she took to Alaska. So without further ado, welcome, Rachel.
Thank you, Lisa, for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm intrigued with your story, and I think not only from the guest perspective and your vacation with us, but also what you're currently working on professionally as a documentary filmmaker. And I think folks who listen to us would really find it interesting. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your Across the Spectrum project?
Well, I'm a documentary filmmaker, and when my son was diagnosed with autism almost 4 years ago, I was looking for documentaries, being a filmmaker myself, and there wasn't really a lot out there about what happened right at the beginning when your child is first diagnosed. Mm-hmm. So I thought, I need to film this, and I need to film this for other people so I can help other people as I would want it to have been helped. Because when you get the diagnosis, a lot of times the doctors don't tell you anything other than your child has autism spectrum disorder and maybe gives you a few pamphlets and stuff, so they don't really tell you what to do afterwards. And you're kind of hit with this amazing diagnosis.
Tornado. Yeah.
And you're upset and crying and don't really know what to do. So I went to the camera and I filmed myself throughout especially the first year. I filmed myself a lot, talking about how I was feeling and, crying a lot, because that's what you do, especially at the beginning. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to also show people that it's not a death sentence. It's not, it gets better as it goes on, and there's help. So I filmed myself, and I found 4 other families around the Phoenix area. I live in Tempe, Arizona. Mm-hmm. And so we are following 5 kids in Arizona, and I've been Skyping with 3 families in Massachusetts. So we're following these 8 kids, and so from the time they are diagnosed until past adults, because it doesn't end when the kids are adults. So we're going to get into that too. So it's going to be a long series, and but I'm learning a lot. I think almost 4 years into this, so I have lots of episode ideas, and then it won't be longer than about 20 minutes per episode, because I know a lot of these parents don't have a lot of time to watch a long documentary. So if you can see it, maybe stream an
snackable content.
A couple episodes a night and stuff, and I'll have them kind of labeled, I think, with episodes, so people can choose, like, oh, I want to know about the diagnosis part, I want to know about different therapy, I want to know about insurance. Insurance is a huge thing. So
absolutely. So that's wonderful. So just so folks understand, how long you've been doing this, your son Henry, who's on the spectrum, is 6 years old now, and he was diagnosed when he was 2 years old, correct?
Yeah, almost 3. So he was diagnosed in October 14th, 2014. Okay. So we are 2 months from 4 years, and he'll be 7 in November. So
okay. So you have been filming your journey all that time, and along with these other children. That's fantastic. So if folks want to just check in, because I'd like to keep track of your progress, particularly if you end up streaming your program on Netflix or some of the other streaming outlets like that. Do you have a website? Is there a way?
Right now it's our production company is Purling Place Productions, and the website is purlingplace.com.
Okay, is that P-E?
PURLINGPLACE.com.
Perfect.
And they can, right now we're still working on that, because we are starting the first season right now of editing. It took me a few years to kind of figure out what direction I wanted to do this. And first it was going to be a documentary, and then I realized how much information there is, and it can't be a documentary. Like, it can't be just one documentary. So I realized that it needs to be a series. And as I was filming these kids, I was like, you need to film them throughout their whole. And when I met these families, I said, we might be filming you guys till the kids are past 18, and everyone was on board. So so it's great. And I've been filming updates every 6 months with the kids. And we do, the ones in Phoenix, we do some play dates with the kids. So we've got a lot of footage of the kids together playing or parallel playing.
So you take there's a 360-degree view of every aspect, from the parent's perspective through the child's eyes. I think that's wonderful. That's really great. So I wish you luck with that, and we'll keep checking in with you. Okay. So now we want to talk about your vacation. So you went you went to Alaska, right? Back in June. And you went with your parents, which would be Henry's grandparents, right?
Yes.
You were celebrating their 50th anniversary.
Their 50th anniversary, yes.
Wow, very cool.
And my 3 sisters came, and their families. Yeah. So it was Henry was the only autistic child and autistic person, and I have 2 nieces and 2 nephews, an older niece and nephew and a younger niece and nephew. My niece is 4 and nephew is 19 months, and they went along with the respite hours that Henry had, which was great. A lot of kids do that, and it's perfect. They end up loving it. Yeah, they prefer that over the regular camps. Yeah, that are provided on the ship. Our experience is a little different than I think the average family would have, because we were the only family. So we had 2 team members for Henry, basically, and then my niece and nephew, but they were really there for Henry, make sure Henry was okay. So Henry, it was 2 to 1, 2 staff members for 1, which is completely not. Yeah, that's not unique. Usual, but that's it was still amazing, and Henry bonded with both Susie and Jamie right away. Good. So did you opt for the one-on-one staffing scenario, or? We didn't have to, because you didn't have to because there was nobody else. Nobody else. So because we booked our whole family, we booked through Autism on the Sea, so we had 7 rooms. So we didn't have they always send at least 2 people. On the cruise. So again, we were a little different. You're a little different, but okay. Nonetheless, it's still a good story. So, how did you initially find out about Autism on the Seas? From doing the documentary, I have become really involved in the community. So I think from a Facebook group, somebody posted about Autism on the Seas a couple of years ago, and I thought it was really cool, and I started following the page. And when my parents first told me about the cruise, they came to me first because they wanted to make sure I was okay with Henry being on a cruise, being nonverbal, and but I had heard about Autism on the Seas already, and so I said, that's perfect. I know a company that we can contact that'll help us, and so I just contacted them right away, and great. They were able to staff our ship. Yeah. Okay. So tell me a little bit about Henry. Did you have any kind of concerns that you were a little anxious about before taking the trip? Yes. Yes, a lot of concerns. We've flown with Henry a lot, and we travel with him. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, so we go back and forth in the summer to Toronto, but we'd never been on a huge boat like this. I don't even think Henry had seen a ship. He had seen a ship on television, but he'd never seen one in person. So we had no idea what he was going to be on the ship, how he was going to react. We were nervous about, you're nervous about large crowds. You're nervous about, just trying to get on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's the first thing that you worry about is like the crowds getting on the ship.
Yeah.
And the waiting, and because they don't wait.
No.
And Henry, unless he understands what he's waiting for, like he loves trains, and he will wait in line for a train because he knows he's getting on the train. Anything else, he doesn't understand what he's waiting for, so he's not going to wait.
Got it.
So we had there was a lot of anxious, and we're on a ship with water around, and he loves water, so we were anxious about him climbing on the rails.
And elopement.
There's a lot going on in your head as you book these trips, and you're like, what did I just do? But Autism on the Seas was amazing. Susie was our team leader, and she contacted me months before. And then like 3 weeks before, we had a phone call, and we talked for an hour.
Wow.
And she had been on the Disney Wonder before, so she knew the ship. And she had not been to Alaska in Disney Wonder, but Disney Wonder on a different trip. And so she knew the ship, and she knew Disney. And Disney's a little different than Royal Caribbean because they don't have the connection that Royal Caribbean does. But Disney Lines, we had an amazing trip, and they were amazing with Henry, very accommodating. So great things about Disney and Autism on the Seas.
Good.
And I was worried about Henry's food because he has allergies, and they were great. Susie was great, telling me that they're going to be fine. And then once we got there, the waiters were right there, had it all written down, and every night beforehand, they took what we want the next day, and so we had our food already planned for him. So
perfect. So tell me about some of the highlights with regard to activities on the ship. Did Henry do anything different that kind of surprised you? Did he get involved in things that he may not have normally taken part in?
Everything surprised us about this. From the minute we stepped on, I mean, Autism on the Seas was there right away when we got there, and they got us right through the lines, right first, and you see Team Orange, and you're like, they're right there in orange, and they had orange flags because Disney doesn't allow balloons. So they had orange flags, and they got us right on the boat. It only took about half an hour for the whole thing, and it was amazing. Yeah. And then we weren't sure about how he was going to be with the characters because on the cruise they've got all the Disney characters. Right away, Henry saw Mickey and ran to him. And we were like,
that's great.
I and was hugging him, and the Disney Mickey was amazing with Henry. Like, Henry tried and grab his nose, and so Mickey was then touching his nose, and then Henry was touching Mickey's nose, and like they were so great with him the whole time. Like all of the characters, like Henry would try and grab him, and they were so great with him, and he met all, like, any of the characters that we could meet, we would go and meet because he just loved, even the characters he didn't know. Yeah. He felt like Captain Hook, you'd never seen Peter Pan, but he gave Captain Hook a high five. It was amazing. So we're like, okay, we got to go to Disneyland now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other, I don't know, did they have a water park on the ship, or,
they had a boat. Yeah, they had a pool, yes. Yeah. And he had, didn't go on the slide, but he loved the pool. One of the excursions that he absolutely loved that we were a little worried about was, we knew he would have fun, but we weren't sure. It was a helicopter trip to a glacier, and then we went dog sledding on the glacier.
Wow.
I mean, Alaska's beautiful. I
I'm
recommend
dying to go.
to everyone. Yeah. It was most of me beautiful. Yeah.
Pristine.
But we had to practice with headphones because he doesn't like anything on his head. So we practiced for like 3 months before the trip, having him wear headphones. Yeah. And he was great on the I think he was so excited to be on the helicopter.
He was distracted. Yeah, right.
And then we weren't sure what he would be like with the dogs because we have a cat and we don't have a dog, and he just absolutely loved the dogs and ducks. And it was the best excursion that we could have ever done.
Oh my God! Well, you have to definitely give me pictures because I want to post that.
Yes,
with the
I
blog.
will.
Yeah, or if you have even a short clip video, that would be great too. Whatever you have.
We'll try. Yes.
Good. All right, so. You're with a ton of your family, seven rooms full of people.
Yes.
What a crazy, incredible experience. So what about, I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that, having a child on the spectrum, you probably don't get to go out and have, me time or alone time with your husband, right? So did you get to enjoy that on the ship? Did you take advantage of the respite?
Oh, yes, we did.
Okay.
We had probably about 3 hours of respite a day when we were sailing. And then on port days we had 1 to 2 hours at night. And it was great. Yeah, we did. We definitely had. They had movies on the boat, so I think we went to see Solo. My husband and I, and then when Henry was at respite. So we were able to see, and I was able to spend time with my older niece and nephew, who are 16 and 13. And that was great because, so because there's so many of us, we could do that. But the respite was amazing. Yeah, you felt like you were a normal family again.
Yeah,
you could actually sit and relax for about an hour because the people are great, and you feel comfortable with leaving your children because people know that you can't just leave your kid when you go to, like, if you go to a resort or something. You can't just leave them in the child care. You can't just leave them with anybody.
No.
Especially a nonverbal child, he can't tell you. But you feel so comfortable. And Henry just loved, from the very beginning, since when we first met them, Henry had a connection with Susie and Jamie, and it was great. So, we felt very comfortable. And my niece loved going there, too. So, loved going with them.
Good. So you had a real vacation, Rachel.
Yes, we
did.
Good.
Good. I'm really, really happy for you. So if there was anything else that you'd want to maybe impart on some other folks, we always kind of end it this way because, there's, no matter, how many times you go to a Facebook group, and even though you hear the stories, sometimes people, they still need that little extra nudge, they're still a little worried. What would you say to them?
We were even after we went, we booked through them, we were still nervous. You're going to be nervous. But know that you got these friendly faces that are going to meet you right at the beginning, and they are going to take care of you and your child all the way through. And they took care of our whole family, not just Henry and Steve and I. They took care of everybody that booked to them. So, like, I know you're hesitant to book it, and it's worth it just to get on and off the boat first. I can't, like,
people say that a lot.
Like, that was my worry, is that all the people and the meltdowns that might happen, and we had no idea how he was going to react, and having these friendly faces right there to greet you at the beginning because you're stressed.
Yeah, of course you are.
But you have those friendly faces, and it's worth it. You're going to have a great time, and just know that there's people that book it, and then they book immediately their next trip afterwards, and there's a reason for that, because you feel relaxed, and the kids have fun, and you have fun. So
I'm so happy.
Please do it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
we want to keep in touch with you, so keep us in the loop with what's going on with the series, because we're happy to share that and let folks know about it, because I think it really will bring value to their lives, and we want to see your story and how it plays out. Yeah, we're gonna know you for probably 20 years, right? If we keep watching.
I hope so.
All right. Well, listen.
That's the plan.
Enjoy your weekend, and thanks again.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Okay,
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.